gives like the most half-assed, like lackadaisical golf shot you've ever seen in your life. And like the sound the dad's made, this one made a completely different sound. Like it was like,
like a cowboy spitting a fucking chaw out. Episode 5 of Devil's Den. I got Mr. Devon Koopman with me.
What's up? What's up?
I got fact checker Isaac in the background,
AKA Jamie.
AKA Jamie Isaac Wyndham. There he is, dude.
We needed something from him.
Yeah,
you
something.
Got an introduction, bro.
So you stopped him being a mechanic, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm cleaning pools full time now, and I'm really enjoying it.
How's that going?
Well, I get to wear flip flops to work every day, so that's pretty cool. No more work boots.
No more fucking mechanic jacket or...
Yeah. You know, you don't come up to work covered up to your elbows in grease every day, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. Just started off with Pony Express Pools. It's a pretty small company a buddy of mine started, and yeah, man, just knocking stuff out, just braving this 110 degree heat every day, trying to get these pools knocked out.
That's the reason why I quit construction. I got fucking tired of dying every goddamn day.
It's brutal, man. And
yeah.
I mean, you just got to drink enough water so you don't die. I mean, look at me right now. I got a water bottle in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't, you definitely fucking get dehydrated and shit, man. It's not fucking healthy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's good for weight loss, but that's about it.
Trust me, the weight's definitely coming off. It's definitely coming off.
So have you been working on anything as far as rap goes?
Man, I've honestly been so busy that I haven't seriously been working on too much, but I want to start working on some more stuff. You know what I mean? I've been entertaining the idea, just listening to beats and stuff. Just I don't know. I have a particular creative process, and I think that the way that I write, you have to actually sit down and like really devote long chunks of time to it. And if I don't have time to like really sit down and think about something for a long time and like really, you know, go over it with a fine tooth comb, then I don't feel like it's, you know,
good enough.
I don't feel like it's up to my standard. So I definitely want to start getting back into music again soon. I want to start making beats and stuff. I mean, I don't know if you knew this. I play several instruments.
Yeah.
You know, I played. Oh, yeah, you've seen me play drums at several of the barbecues, and I've, you know, fucked around on Fruity Loops before. You know, made some beats, and just something I want to get into sampling a little bit. You know,
sampling's cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
But beat making's hard, man. I cannot fucking figure it out to like save my fucking life.
What are your issues? Like, what are you?
I just don't know how to like. Okay, so like I'm more like I use a lot of loops, and I don't want to use loops. Like I want to make my own shit.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like I need like a MIDI pad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
One of those in like a keyboard or something.
That's all cool, and I think like how do you say this? Like I don't know how much like music theory and stuff you know, but like, you know, I was in like marching band and stuff in high school, so like, you know, I've taken lessons with like, you know, percussion teachers and shit my whole life, and I feel like even going on something like what's the website all the other podcasts plug?
I have no idea, man.
This episode is brought to you by Skillshare.
We need our
Skillshare,
fact check. What's it called, man?
Yeah, Skillshare. Even I feel like if you went and, you know, checked out something on there on as far as just like, you know, music theory or like, you know, intro to beat making or something like that,
might help out a lot.
Yeah, it would give you like a strong foundation to start with, because, you know what, music is so complicated. Like, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's very complicated. So I feel like if you kind of go in just like, you know, trying to find your lane, you're almost like walking into the abyss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and blind leading the blind type ordeal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, man, I want to get into beat making and shit again. Like I said, I have a strong music foundation. I want to get into writing and shit again, and I want to kind of try to make a little bit more serious music too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty much everything I've ever made has kind of been like, you know, kind of funny stuff. Kinda, you know, just
little Dicky top vibe.
Yeah, little Dicky-esque, just, you know, witty stuff where everything, like almost every bar is a punchline. Like, you know, I'm just, you know, just trying to make people laugh, just trying to make people smile. But, you know, I feel like that my writing talents go further than that. You know what I mean?
Oh, they
And
definitely do.
I
So you're one of my favorites as far as the page goes, man.
yeah, I need to.
I've said it a billion times.
I appreciate that, man. I have a lot of kinks to work out as far as like my artistry goes, but it's something that I feel like if I take seriously, I can actually make some noise in eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you I think on one of our Kobe Coop shows where we were doing the thing where we drew the names for the
Yeah.
tournaments and whatnot. You said you had like a mixtape or something like back then that you released or something. I can't remember what it was called.
I released several just like small little things, just like small rap songs, and I was working on a mixtape called Sauce under the moniker Weebs.
Weebs?
And, yeah, and you can actually go find my thrift shop remix somewhere on YouTube.
That's the thing that you were talking about, your fucking thrift shop remix. Yeah.
And I even like photoshopped a little like Heinz ketchup bottle. It had like instead of ketchup, it had like pot leaves on it, and it is like like the fine little stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Weeb sauce, like 100% original, like all over it, and it was just like a bottle of ketchup sitting on a picnic blanket, and that was like I had my mixtape cover and everything, and like that thrift shop remix was technically like my EP, if you will. I like dropped it, and my college roommate was into the audio engineering stuff. He was taking classes at South Plains, and he was helping me out with stuff. So my shit was sounding pretty good. I was recording on good equipment, and like honestly, bro, like I just sat down one night and like started writing that shit. Just like kind of found my own flow to that beat, and just like kind of started writing shit. And I was like kind of spitting it, and he was like, "Bro, that kind of hits." Like,
It's actually kind of fire.
I kind of like that. And I'm just like, okay, well, you want to record me? And I'm pretty sure he recorded me and turned me in for a project. Like while he was in school, like that was like one of his projects.
That's
was
dope.
Like something that
Didn't even ask you about it or nothing.
No,
he just fucking did it.
he did. It was like
Oh.
something that he mentioned afterwards. It was like, hey, I'm gonna submit this for my project. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, I mean, I've worked a lot on it, and it fits the criteria for what we're working on in class right now. So like, I could submit this and probably get an A on it. I'm like, no shit. So
If you don't, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm out here entertaining people and contributing to the homies' education.
There you go, man.
Killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I thought about going to like Weatherford College for like audio engineering, just so I can make my shit better. Like my shit doesn't sound bad; it's just not to the level that I want it. Like
Yeah,
when you hear my music, you could definitely tell it's fucking like a home studio, and it's not.
I mean, yes and no. I feel like, I mean, I think like the equipment's all there and stuff, and like obviously you have the talent and stuff like that. It's just like once you do something continuously, repetition creates perfection after a while, and you have to hone your craft and stuff. And it's just one of those things. You just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. Like you go back to any rapper's early stuff, and you're gonna notice little like things that don't sound like their newer stuff. It's because they either adapted to the sound that they need to in order to go mainstream. You might call it selling out, but they did what they had to do to make money.
Boy.
They did what they had to do to make that bread, and it's just you just gotta keep on going, gotta keep on finding your comfort zone, but also pushing yourself out of it. You know what I mean? I think it's important to expand on your horizons constantly, and it's you got to push yourself. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it.
If you don't, you're gonna be stuck in a bubble, and you're gonna be that guy that always releases this, like the baby.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna release the same song over and over and over.
And
I don't want to be that. I want every fucking release to be something kind of different.
Yeah, and that's honestly something I'm kind of struggling with as far as like the shit that I've released like for a while now. Is like I've got some homies that are like real. Not really critical of the shit that I do, but they're honest with me, and like they'll be like, hey, the bars are fire, but the flow's the same as the last 4 songs you release. It's just like you got to find something else that you can do, and it's like I agree with that, and that's kind of what I was saying before with like you have to continue to push yourself out of your boundaries, because I found a flow that I can ride, but
it only carries you so fucking far.
Exactly. And you can't be a one-trick pony, especially if you want to do anything in this industry. And
especially if you want to be successful. I mean, you could be successful, but you're only going to be successful for so fucking long, and then people are going to be like, I don't want to hear that song anymore. You know what I mean? Because you fucking sang the same song 25 times.
Yeah, I think it's something that you talked about in one of your previous podcasts was like how you kind of scat on a beat whenever you're first kind of
before
trying
I
to find
start
it.
actually
Yeah.
like putting words down.
And I think I need to do more of that because what I end up doing, like as far as my creative process goes, like I'll think of something funny in like the shower or something like that,
Yeah.
and like I'll
Yeah.
force myself to like I'll keep thinking about it on purpose and like get
Just
out
so
of the
you don't
shower,
forget
like,
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll run down like write it down somewhere, and then like I'll think of a couple things that rhyme with like maybe several different things within like that thought or that sequence, and figure out how I can turn that into a bar, and then like once I have that,
Gotta get like the ultimate punchline.
yeah, exactly. And like that's kind of how everything that I write is structured. It's like, I originally have like one punchline or one funny idea or like, some like, something within like, a 4 or 8 bar set that like, one like real specific, like, punch to the gut. And then like I'm working around that usually.
Yeah.
And while there's nothing wrong with that, it fucks with your flow because like,
Definitely does.
because you obviously don't want to start off like a verse with like your heat. Like,
Yeah.
you
No,
know
you
what I
don't.
mean?
You want to lead up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so that,
So
yeah.
So you can't start off with like the fire that you thought of. You got to build up to that shit.
Yeah.
But I think a big part of my problem is like I need to be more comfortable building up to my good punchlines and stuff like that. Because like even I'm my own biggest fan and critic. You know what I mean? Whenever when I come up with some fire shit, I'm fucking hype about that fire shit. Like whenever I come up with some shit.
But then when you're fucking alone and you start reading it and listening to it, you're like, fuck, I could have said this or I could have done that. And it's a never ending process, man. Nothing is ever truly perfect.
And I, like honestly, bro, I've probably thrown away some really good bars before just because like in that moment I'm just like, nah, they ain't gonna feel that. And like on the flip side, I've used some stuff that I thought was fucking heat that like nobody mentions in the comments afterwards, and it's just like, did y'all not get that?
Yeah,
You
I
know
did
what
the
mean?
same fucking thing with the first Death Dealer that I released, the Death Dealer, my self-titled one. I used actually that whole end sequence, y'all want to be the one to kick the bucket, and I did the whole little wrestling scheme. I used that from the page. From my open challenge or whatever, and nobody fucking even like noticed it, man. Yeah, it's like, do y'all even really listen to my shit? Or
I wonder how much of the videos people actually watch. Because I'll give you a perfect example. The battle with Chris Vibes. Whenever I was pretending to read off of my phone at the beginning of the battle,
you threw it or
and
whatever,
yeah,
you dropped it.
I dropped it and then looked
Yeah.
at the camera and finished off like looking at the camera. And somebody in the comments was like, "Yo, really good bars, guys, but y'all really need to both learn to quit reading off your phones and face the camera." And it was just like, bro, like. Tell me you didn't watch my whole video without telling me you didn't watch my whole video.
In a couple words.
Yeah. It was just like...
Well, I mean, they don't watch. I mean, even some people that do watch it, they don't analyze nothing.
Yeah.
They like, I could literally not say shit and just have a better flow.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, he fucking won. Oh.
And that's something I struggle with too, is like, I feel like you got to make every bar mean something, but at the same time,
you don't have to though. Yeah,
you really don't.
You can use filler bars.
Yeah, and I'm slowly learning that because I don't want to dilute the content that I'm making with ignorance, but at the same time, I don't want it to be so much that you're on like your 15th or 20th listen and you're still not catching stuff that I need you to catch.
Everything's
the first
just
time.
going over people's heads,
and that's even with the notion that somebody's going to listen to your shit 15 or 20 times. Like,
you know
what I mean?
yeah. They might just listen to it once, like most of the time. They're like, "Oh yeah, that was cool," and then fucking never listen to it again.
Yeah, and I go through phases. I mean, honestly, I feel like whenever I get that hype, you know what I mean? Like it honestly motivates me and inspires me to do shit more because like
definitely.
I feel like whenever like I haven't made anything in a while, and I'll be honest with you. So the other day, I guess what's homie's name that you've done the podcast with a couple times? I'm totally blanking right now.
Dalton.
Yes, Dalton. So it was, I think, your second podcast with him. You posted it, and I woke up and I was like taking my morning poop, and I was listening to it, and it like blew my mind that like I was one of the absolute first people y'all mentioned. Like he was like, he started off, he's like, bro, you know who I fuck with? And you're like, who's? Like, your homie, and you're like, Jazz, and he's like, no.
I thought he was talking about Jazz, and he was like, no, the white dude. I'm like, Coop. He's like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that fucking like I had to run it back. I was like, he just say my name, and I was just like, I listened to that, and I was like, bro, no lie, I was fucking cheesing, like just sitting there on the fucking shitter, just I was just like, bro, that honestly kind of kicked me into gear a little bit. You know what I mean? It was just like, bro, like I don't know that guy. Like I've seen him on the page, but like whenever you know he brought up like rappers he likes on the page, I was one of the first people he mentioned.
Yeah.
Like that. That's hype, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's
well, why
the
would
good
you not
shit.
be? You know what I mean? Well, that's the whole reason of the thing, dude. Is just build people's confidence to make them just go out and do something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't always have to be releasing like your absolute fire shit, and you got to constantly be honing your craft and shit. And I need to devote more time to it. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing. I'm cleaning a lot of fucking pools right now.
Well, I mean, that and having a wife and kids, I'm sure that there's not very much coop time.
Yeah, I got 2 kids under 4. I got one that's almost 2, and then Murphy will be 4 in January.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's bonkers, though.
Yeah, they're the most frustrating blessing I've ever had in my life.
I'm sure.
They're just like, I love them so much, but also like want to scream at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like,
which I'm cool with being an uncle, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be a dad, but I want it to be like with the right one.
Bro, speaking of you being an uncle, there was a video you posted a while back, and I wanted to ask you what the fuck was going on, but it was like your niece doing some weird dance in front of like a computer monitor or something like that, and you were just like, kids these days. And I was just like,
oh no, fucking. So I was wasted that day, and it was, and my electric
Shocker.
no shit. So anyway, my electric got cut off that day, so I went over to my mom's to just hang out and chill.
Okay.
And she had my niece there, and she kept fucking me, telling me, Dobie, it's a game. You can play this game. I'm like, baby, Dobie wants to sit on the couch and drink, baby. Like, I don't feel like playing no game with you. So she fucking turned it on, and I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like
some kind of VR or something like that.
Not really. It's dumber than that. Like it's like Temple Run where you dodge. That's what they're doing, but like nothing happens if you don't dodge it. Like it's just a video playing, and they're just like moving out of the way of the things.
So they're not like influencing the thing on the screen at all?
No, not at all. It's just a video. Dumb, right?
Moments like this are why you need to have a video podcast, because the look on my face that I just gave you could have probably been a meme.
It's coming. I'm fucking yeah. No,
somebody would have screenshot that and fucking made that a meme.
Shit like that is just like, are you fucking serious, man? Like,
okay.
I mean, have fun, do you? But that's kind of fucking dumb.
I didn't expect that level of dumb. I thought it was like some virtual or augmented reality bullshit that I hadn't heard of yet. But
now she will bring her Oculus over every once in a while, and I'll fucking jack it from her, and I'll play on it for a little while.
Are kids just like so in tune with technology now that they just like have to constantly be interacting with it?
I don't know, man.
It's just
I know me, you, and him. Fucking, we didn't grow up like that.
Yeah, just the way we grew up, like I was talking.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we didn't grow up without technology. Like we weren't fucking cavemen, but
we were such a transitional generation. I was talking to a customer about this the other day, and like one thing that nobody talks about is like whenever I was like 4 or 5 years old, I knew how to dial a rotary phone. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like that wasn't uncommon.
It was still on the fucking house.
Yeah, it was like the mid to late 90s. Like people still had like corded wall phones that were rotaries.
Or
and you
home
had,
phones.
Fucking shh.
Yeah. That reminds me, I fucking saw a video one day. This dad had like his 17-year-old son and his friend or whatever. And he said, look, I'll pay you $80 if you could figure out how to use this. And it was a rotary phone. And
it's like not even that hard, bro.
They could not fucking figure it out to save their life. They just kept looking at it and fucking pausing like, and they kept touching it, and like they were like, where's the screen?
Bro, it has a set of numbers.
Yeah, it's not that fucking complicated, man. But shit like that is funny to me, man.
Kids these days, man.
And the generation above us thought the same shit. Like when we were playing like PS1, Crash Bandicoot and shit, like, these fucking kids, man.
It's like technology progressed so fast, and it's crazy because even like a lot of the shit we learned is in school is obsolete because like none of that technology is relevant anymore.
Me and Aaron were talking about that the other day.
And
like the math that we used to use.
Yeah, they have like that Common Core bullshit now, and it's just.
And
like,
in my mind, I was like, you can't like change math.
Bro, I thought the same shit. Like bro, it's numbers. How the fuck are you gonna change how numbers work?
Apparently, they did, and I figured out they got a shit called what the fuck is it called? A star test or something. It's like our tax test, but they fucking switched it, and I was like, what the fuck is?
So I'm older than you. I'm about to throw it way back, bro. I took the TOS test.
Yeah.
It was like 3rd and 4th grade, the Texas Assessment of Academic Skills, the TOS test. I bet you ain't heard the TOS test in a minute, bro.
Yeah. Last time I heard it, fucking my dad was talking about. Yeah, my dad was talking about it.
Isaac, you ever have to take the TOS test?
Not that I remember.
Okay, so y'all were tax babies. Y'all didn't ever have to.
Yeah.
The STAR test, when it first came out, we the.
Yeah, we were like the guinea pigs.
Oh, okay, yeah, I never touched the STAR test. It was literally like TOS for 2 years and then tax the whole rest of the time I was.
Well,
in
like
school.
it didn't mean anything. They were just like, "Hey, take this test," and we were like, "What for?" Nothing. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, not to flex or anything, but I used to fucking wreck the tax test.
Yeah. Especially on writing.
Straight fours, boy. I was like the crown jewel of the school during tax test time. The rest of the year, they were just like, "Why don't you do this then?" I was like, "I don't know. You just give me an easy fucking test and I answer all the questions right."
I don't feel like doing this shit until it's tax time. Oh, fucking the story you told earlier, tell it on the podcast, but the golf thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
That shit had me cracking up. I was visualizing it and everything.
So, I was cleaning a pool on a golf course today. And you see this guy and like his 10-year-old son pull up, and this like goes back to what we were talking about before about how kids are just like so technologically driven. And this kid was maybe like 10, and his dad was like so desperately trying to show him how to play golf. And you could tell this kid just like he wanted to play Fortnite or like Snapchat his buddies or something. Like he had no interest in golf, and like it was like 110 degrees, and he had his Gatorade and his phone, and like his dad was practically having to pry him out of the fucking golf cart. So they get up there and, his dad's like, showing him how to stand and like, this is how you do it and, yada, yada, yada. And, keep in mind, this is like the middle of the day on a weekday. So it's like me cleaning the pool, like probably 30 feet away from these guys who were like standing on like what'd you call it? The tee box?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm what you would call a non-golfer. I don't golf.
I'm a cool guy.
You can ask me anything about any other sport and I'm your guy. But as far as golf goes, like I'm just like I've seen Happy Gilmore a lot. Like that's the extent of my that's the extent of my golf knowledge.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Dude, I would be terrible at putt-putt, I promise you.
I love putt-putt.
But so this fucking guy, this dad and his kid are out there, and he's like, out there showing him like, this is how you stand, yada yada yada, and he smacks what I would consider like a respectable golf shot. Like,
got the right click to it.
Yeah, it had the right sound. You know what I mean? Yeah. When he hit that thing, like it went. And so he gets the kid up there and he's like, showing the kid how to do it. And he's giving him the old Chubbs maneuver from Happy Gilmore. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And like the kid's still just like not feeling it. And like you can tell, like he just wants to fucking go home. So his kid stands up there. He gives like the most half-assed, like lackadaisical golf shot you've ever seen in your life. And like the sound the dad's made, this one made a completely different sound. Like it was like it just
like a cowboy spitting a fucking chaw out.
I could have probably thrown the golf ball further than he hit it with a club. Is all that I'm saying. I was waiting for it. That dad, he put his hands on his hips, and bro, it took every bit of me not to fucking scream. He goes, "Well, that was fucking terrible."
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. You're gonna have to edit that up. Fucking. He said that dad fucking put his hand on his hips. He said, "Well, that fucking sucked."
I wish I was there for that, man. That's so fucking funny.
It was so savage, bro. I fucking cackled. Like it was. It took every bit of me not to just like fucking fall over into the pool. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. We need more of that kind of parenting. Like,
we do.
Don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate of gentle parenting, and I have 2 little girls, so I have to like sometimes like listen, baby, like this is what we're doing. But like sometimes,
but in the back of your mind, you're like, you fucking got to.
Sometimes we need a little bit of that fucking sucked parenting. You know what I mean? It's
especially nowadays, dude. Kids are fucking dumb,
yeah,
man.
Just thin-skinned and stupid. Not everybody's kid. If you're listening to this, and I'm not talking about your kid, but everybody else's kid.
Just in general. Yeah. Just in general, most kids fucking suck.
If you think that comment applied to your kid, it doesn't. Just everybody else's.
But if it does, it does. If the shoe fits.
Lace that bitch up and wear it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's funny as fuck, man.
So yeah, dude, kids need to be pried away from the technology. They need to be forced out.
I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, don't rip them away completely. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if or when I have a kid, like, I want to give it everything I never had, but also I want them to kind of go through shit and builds character. It makes you tough. You're not I don't want to say bitch, but you're not like, oh, fucking,
Yeah.
I had a bad day at work. I got to call in for a week. Fucking somebody said something that hurt my feelings.
And like, when's the last time you saw a kid or a group of kids riding their bike around the neighborhood?
Not since I was a kid.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No.
Like, bro, from like 6 to like 14, that's all we did.
Yeah.
We woke
And you
up.
better get your ass back before the fucking street lights come
Yeah.
on, or you're gonna get your ass whooped.
If it was summertime and we didn't have school, like, we were waking up early in the morning, we were going outside on our bikes, and we were going down to like Soldier
Shit,
Springs
I used
Park
to walk
and
to
jumping.
their
on-
house, and
Yeah.
I lived fucking. How far would you say fucking Cypress and Fox Hollow are from each other?
Like 5-6 miles, maybe. A good 2-hour walk.
A good fucking walk, man.
A long walk for a kid.
Yeah, in the middle of fucking Texas, somewhere wearing all black with his face painted. Fucking.
You did that to yourself.
I know I did. I'm just saying it wasn't fucking enjoyable.
That's nobody else's problem.
It was my problem for sure.
I saw a kid walking down the road the other day. My truck, I swear to God, said 112 on like the outside
Jesus
heat.
fucking
This kid was
Christ.
walking down the street,
I feel for you, bro.
black pants, black hoodie,
Yeah.
hood pulled up over his hat. I was just like, bro, like, I know you're trying to put on a front right now, but you're gonna die fronting,
Yeah.
bro. Like,
That's how it fucking felt, man.
like
I'd be like a quarter of the way, and I'd be like, "Fuck! I got so much longer to go. Fuck! It's so fucking hot. My mohawk's melting and shit.
your mohawk's a man
Yeah,
hawk.
look like Free Willy whenever he was in the tank.
Just sad.
Yeah." I can imagine how fucking stupid I look. Like when people like, what the fuck was
Turn a mohawk to a
that?
no hawk real quick.
Yeah. God damn, dude. Every once in a while, I'll have that cool homie that'd stop and be like, fucking get in. But then every once in a while, I'd have them shitty homies that, like, I'd see him a day or two later, like, hey, I saw you walking.
So why didn't you stop?
Why didn't you
bitch?
fucking stop, bro? God damn. You're going the fucking same way I am.
Bro, I won't lie. I oftentimes think about offering people rides, but I also think that because of like how society is
Yeah.
now, like, you just
Don't want to.
you don't want to rub people the wrong way, and I feel even like if you're trying to give a genuine gesture, like a ride to somebody
Yeah.
who's sweating out on the road, like they're always gonna think like, is this person gonna fucking murder me? Like,
Yeah.
it's-
And you're thinking the same thing
Yeah,
about the
exactly.
fucking guy
It's like-
in your passenger seat.
like, am I gonna pick this guy up and he's gonna fucking stick a knife to my throat and take all my money? Like,
I know he's got a chainsaw in his center console. No, I want to
That's-
do that shit too, but at the same time, it's like, man, same thing. It's like, I don't fucking know this guy. You know, if
Yeah.
it's somebody like, if I saw you or him walking, I'd be like, fucking dude, get in.
Yeah, find your good deeds in other ways. I will tell you one thing that I have done a lot recently is, like, I'm working out in the heat all day. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sweating. I'm in constant sun exposure all day, so I carry like a
God
whole
damn it,
case of
fucking
water
sucks.
in
Yeah.
my passenger seat.
Hot
And,
ass water.
I mean, it's normally cool in the morning, but water's water whenever it's
yeah.
like as hot as
not
it
at
is.
fucking 3 in the afternoon. It's
Yeah.
not cold.
And it's like, it's been hitting AC, so like it's colder than it is outside.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like if I see like, you know, UPS or fucking FedEx drivers like out there hustling and shit, or like, you know, dudes like working, you know, other contractors that are working at houses that I'm at and stuff, like, fuck it, grab a couple more water bottles and go hand them out. I haven't had one single
awesome.
person turn me down yet. You know what I
Fuck
mean?
no,
It's-
you don't. Fuck,
You just
they're as thirsty as you are.
You gotta look out for folks. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, you see these dudes out there, just like, bro, you
Need more people like Coop, man.
take a water, bro. Take a
Yeah.
water.
Most people are like, these are my fucking waters.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna drink them by the end of the day. So you know, water's fucking $3-4 a case. If I can hand
Yeah.
a couple out every day, then I'm doing my good deed.
It's all that matters, man.
Yeah,
It's all that matters.
gotta look out for folks. It all comes back around. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've struggled with that before. Like I'm not gonna lie, I always try to do the right thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
not to like, you know, fucking, put myself up on a pedestal or anything, but I genuinely like
Yeah.
always try
Well,
to do
most
the
people
right
don't.
thing.
They're like, man, fuck that
Yeah.
guy. You know what I mean? Especially nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've cut some motherfuckers off. Like,
Well, you got to.
You know what I
you
mean?
also
But
got to. It's yin and yang, man.
at the same time, I always try to do the right thing, and I've been like constantly fucked over like several times in
Yeah.
a row, and like you get to thinking like, fuck, dude, like maybe I shouldn't always do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
But there's always that little gremlin in the back of your head. It's like,
But bro,
be a good guy.
I
Yeah.
swear, bro. Every time I start to feel that way, like, it's not really worth it to just like be, fucking solid all the time. Something always comes out and just like kind of reminds me. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like I'm a firm believer in karma, bro. I
Yeah.
feel like, people see you doing good and doing good things and, helping people out and going out of your way to be a solid fucking dude. Like,
The universe is going to give it back.
they're going to recognize that you're a fucking solid dude. And like, here's a fucking perfect example, bro. A couple months ago, I was in between jobs. I was fucking behind on my bills and shit. And I posted on Facebook. I was like, hey, if anybody has some side work, like anything fucking mechanic related, fucking at your house, like, just fucking any kind of fucking work I can do, I need to make
Well,
some
one
extra
thing I
money
want to say
for-
is at least you're working for it. You're not
Yeah,
just
I'm-
like,
I'm
hey,
not-
give me money.
I'm not
like
gonna
most
ask for
of
a
these people.
fucking
That's
handout,
why,
dude.
FYI, that's why y'all don't get shit to y'all's GoFundMe, because you're not fucking working for
Yeah,
it.
I'm not just gonna go out and just fucking
Yeah.
ask for money.
Didn't mean to
whenever
interrupt, but carry on.
I'm fucking capable, and I can go out there and earn my fucking keep. I'm not just gonna ask for money, but that's what I was leading into. Is like, a couple people, reached out like, hey, if you want me to, if you want to come work for me, Jason Kurtz with Kurtz Lawn Care, he had me come out and work with him on a Saturday. Laid a
He's
bunch
a
of
cool
sod
guy.
for him. He's
I love
fucking
that guy.
solid,
Yeah.
dude.
He's a
Fucking-
cool guy. I like
Jason
Jason.
Kurtz is a
Yeah.
great guy, and came out and worked for him. He paid me good for a day's work, and did some work for a couple other people. But one thing that fucking blew my mind, dude, is a couple people hopped in my inbox and they were just like, hey, I don't have any work for you to do, but I just want to help out. Can I send you a couple bucks? And like, as much as I, wanted to say no or
Yeah.
did say no to a couple people, like they found a way, dude. They found my fucking Cash App, and like before long,
That's that
bro,
karma coming back, man.
Bro, like $140 or $150, like several people sent me just like some money just because I've went
you're
out
a
there and
solid guy and you do good
put
shit.
myself out there, and
Yeah.
it was just like that was like another one of those instances where it was just like, dude, they didn't have to do that, and if I
Yeah.
was a fucking shitbag, that wouldn't have happened. But it's
No.
just like karma's a fucking real thing, dude, and like
I believe it.
Anybody who's listening to this, like, just fucking do good, dude. It may not seem like it in the moment or feel like it in the moment, but people fucking recognize that shit.
Yeah.
And
And also, FYI, it's not that hard to not be a piece of shit. you just gotta try a little bit.
And people can recognize change. Like, not
Yeah.
that I've ever really been like a shitbag, but I feel like there was a point in time, like several years ago, where like my reputation was like far worse than what it is today, as far as like the type of person I am. Like,
Been there, buddy.
I was kind of confrontational and like kind of got a rise out of just like arguing with people on Facebook and shit. It was just like kind of what I like to do whenever I was bored, and I started to realize that was like
Not the way to do it.
That was the reputation I was building for myself. Like, people knew me as like, oh, you're the guy that fucking argues with people on Facebook, and it was just like, that's not who I want to be. Like, that's not like the image I see for myself.
And that's a real mental thing. You got to
Yeah.
tell yourself that.
Yeah,
Because if you
exactly.
let it go, you'll become a piece of shit. And
and
it's
there were a
really
couple
hard
times
to
when,
stop being a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and honestly, like, there's been a couple times where I've like popped off at a motherfucker online, like over the past couple years,
Yeah.
but that goes into the whole like pick your battles thing, dude.
Yeah.
You just like, some things aren't worth arguing over, and like some things, if they really fucking mean something to you, and you really want to assert your point on that, there's nothing wrong with that, but you ain't gotta fucking argue with everybody, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you
Not
really
only that,
don't.
but you don't have to put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's
Yeah.
completely your decision. We got to give Isaac something to do.
Okay, are you bored, Isaac?
You don't have to go out of your way to find something for me.
How do you feel about tic-tac-toe? Do you want to play a game of tic-tac-toe mid-podcast?
Fuck yeah, not particularly, but like.
He's fucking scared.
I know he is, dude. We got to give him facts to check.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right, here's how it is.
I'm going to commentate it. Okay, Coop's got the
everybody-
right hand up.
Everybody plays by different rules, but we're doing 1, 2, 3, shoot. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
They
Some
both
people
got-
try to like rock, paper, scissors, and like rock, paper, shoot. Like, that's not how you fucking do it. And then they try to fucking switch their sign
I'm the
up and
rock,
try to
paper,
fucking
scissors guy.
make it a mental game. So, all right, we got Kobe officiating. We got the preliminary.
Got both players on the field. Coop in the pink shirt, Isaac in the black. They both got their right hands up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Wait, what?
I was counting it down, man.
You gotta let
Oh
us
shit!
shoot,
No,
bro.
yeah, I fucked up. Okay, rock,
One.
paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Well, they fucking tied 3 times in a row. They're still tying. Oh shit! Coop got one on fucking Isaac.
If we would have kept the same groove we were doing, we would have lasted forever, dude.
Yeah, I know.
What was the chances that we tie 5 times
I
in a
know.
row?
That's the best 1 out of 3. Now we got to go 2 out of 3.
Oh, we doing some more of
We're
this?
doing 2 out of 3 for sure.
Okay, we have Coop and
You
Isaac.
gotta fucking do it, dude.
Round 2.
Fight.
Let's do this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn.
Get fucking wrecked!
Yeah, 1 and 1. 1 and 1.
I thought it'd be different.
Last fucking round,
You
dude.
got both of them.
No, I got both of them.
Oh no, yeah, you lost, bitch.
Yeah. I'm 2-0.
Yeah, you fucking suck, Isaac. Get wrecked.
Have you met my friend Owen? Owen 2?
Yeah. Bars.
He said, haha, fuck you.
That's Isaac for you, man. So you say you like sport. Do you like UFC?
I would like to like it more, if that makes sense. I've caught several fights over the years, but like if you ask me to name like 20 UFC fighters, I maybe could.
So that's not the topic for this podcast, dude, because I can go on and on.
I
dude.
like to talk about it. I have several, like, it's weird. I've caught like several iconic UFC fights over the years just because people have made a big deal about
Yeah.
them and like, you need to see this. I'll be honest, I really have a lot of interest in boxing.
Boxing's cool.
I like watching boxing. It's just like, it's a very like,
Well, they're more point based instead of
it's
just,
a
hey,
very-
beat his fucking ass.
it's a
Yeah.
very like bare roots form of fighting.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna stand up and punch this guy until one
Not
of you
fucking
falls.
suck his
or-
cock on the
Yeah.
ground. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with UFC. It's cool and all,
Yeah.
but like I feel like a lot of times fighting styles don't match up correctly, so you don't see like, you know, a guy's true potential against,
Yeah.
you know, somebody else because
Yeah.
you have a dude who's like a real hardcore, like, you know, striker
Wrestling
against
guy,
a dude
yeah.
who's like, you know, a real hardcore Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
guy, and it's just like that's cool and all, but you're not really showcasing what either of those guys
Correct.
can do.
Correct.
And whereas
I can fuck with that.
with boxing, it's like
It's boxing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like both of these guys train to do the exact same
Right.
thing, and we're gonna figure out who's fucking better at this thing.
Right.
And like UFC's great and all, and you got a lot of really good boxers in the UFC. Like
Oh, yeah.
like GSP, fucking phenomenal
Well,
boxer.
GSP, I think
And-
it's between him and John Jones, tied for the greatest of all time as far as UFC go.
GSP's fucking great,
GSP's
dude.
dope, dude. Khabib is real good too.
Mm-hmm.
Khabib's fucking defeated.
Hey, he's. I don't want to talk shit about him because he's a great fighter, but
I don't like his attitude that much, probably because I'm not like whatever religion he is, Muslim or Hindu, whatever
Yeah,
the
that-
fuck he is.
that doesn't make a shit's bit of difference to me. He's just
Right,
he's not. I'll give you a perfect example, and I can't exactly pinpoint why, but for some reason Khabib isn't like a very marketable guy,
That's fair.
and
Yeah.
like Daniel.
He's just another guy that fights.
Daniel Cormier is another example of like a really good fighter that for some reason fans just didn't like. Like he wasn't a very marketable or likable guy, and like he was on top of the UFC at one time. But
What's the dude I'm thinking of? He's the black guy who always fucking talks shit in the middle. Kevin Holland.
oh yeah, Kevin
Yeah,
Holland,
Kevin Holland's the
fucking
same
sweaty
way.
nuts guy.
Yeah, he always fucking talks shit. But people got tired of him talk shit because he wasn't backing it up. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
beating ass. He just kept getting his ass kicked, and people were like, "Okay, dude, like
What's the fucking kickboxer with the goofy haircut?
fucking god damn it."
Patty the Batty.
I like Patty the Batty.
That's a bad motherfucker, dude.
Well,
just, like,
he's for real savage.
he just
Yeah, he's actually fucking savage,
I don't
unlike
know if-
most of them, man.
I don't know if I've ever watched him fight live in a PPV event, but that dude, I've seen some videos of him just walloping.
There's a
some
fucking
guys.
video I watched. Like he's eating pizza while he's getting fat, and people are like, "Why don't you like maintain weight or like why don't you work out as much as you should?" And he's like, "Cause I don't give a fuck. I want to fucking be happy." Like
Yeah.
he's just like, if fat makes me happy, then I'm gonna fucking be happy.
And going into like, I don't know if I can really for sure say this about Khabib, but I know for a lot of like big fighters and like, I know it's gonna sound stupid that I'm even bringing these idiots up on this podcast and even naming them the same breath as fighters, but they do the same shit, and it's like what Floyd did his whole career. He picked the fights.
Floyd's
that he
a
wanted.
fighter, man. He's undefeated. He's a very great boxer.
He is. He might be the best defensive boxer of all time.
defensive, yes,
But
I agree with
he
that.
also picked all of his fights.
Yeah.
Where you have what's the
Kinda like a
what's
Jake
the Mexican
Paul
guy that
ordeal.
was like 89-0 before he lost?
God damn it!
Fucking-
Fact check.
Fact check. Isaac. Is it,
Fact check.
It's like Caesar Chavez. Was that a dictator or a boxer?
Now you got a job.
we finally have a role for Jamie. I should try to like pursue the voiceover thing.
Yeah, you'd be really good at fucking like voice acting. Actually, I'm gonna make a cartoon. Me and this little dude I work with named Sam. The other day, or not the other day, it was a while back, but he's
I'll
like,
do your voices. I will. I'll commit to that.
that motherfucker was like, hey man, you look like a gorilla. I'm like,
Cesar Chavez, was that right?
Floyd, yeah.
God, I'm so good at this.
God
yeah,
damn.
fucking Cesar Chavez would fight
Thank you,
anybody, dude.
Isaac.
And he was like 89-0 before he lost.
yeah.
And it's like, you know, you've got to respect something
what
like
is,
that.
What is Floyd's record?
Floyd was like 50-0 or 51-0.
I think it's in the like lower 50s.
I
50,
think
51,
Mayweather was his
52.
50th win. Or I mean, I'm sorry. I think McGregor was his 50th win, which that was a bullshit gimmicky fight anyway. You just have the most marketable dude in the
Yeah.
UFC history
It's a
training to box
money-making
for 8
event.
months.
It's
Professional victories, 27 knockouts.
Say that again.
50 professional victories, 27 knockouts.
50 professional victories, 27
7
knockouts.
knockouts, yeah.
So I mean, he's still KO in half. His,
Can we agree on Mike Tyson's the illest though?
I mean, as far as savagery goes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think anybody in the history of heavyweight boxing could have taken on prime Mike
Fuck
Tyson.
no. Could you imagine like, okay, Muhammad, everyone says Muhammad Ali's the GOAT and all that shit. I like Muhammad,
Yeah.
but there's no way you could put Muhammad in his prime against Tyson in his prime. Tyson would fuck him up, dude.
What was it? Was it Buster Douglas that beat Tyson in like it was like the late 80s or early 90s?
I'd be lying if I fucking said yes or no, man.
I remember my stepdad made me sit down and watch that fight whenever I was a kid, and he was like kind of explaining to me like this was supposed to be like this guy was like 50th ranked in the world and Tyson was 1. Like Tyson was supposed to wallop this dude in like 2 rounds.
And he got his ass beat or what?
Well, he took in the distance and he ended up fucking knocking Tyson out in like the later rounds, or it was a TKO.
Is that-
Douglas talked about in 1990.
Yeah, 1990,
Yeah.
so 3 years before I was
Yeah.
born.
His first loss by knockout.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
it was like,
was it after that he started just getting fucked up, Tyson? Like his
I mean,
downfall?
I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on Tyson. I don't really know
That's
like
why
his
we got a
history and
fact
stuff like that.
See?
Did he start losing fights after that, Tyson?
What's Tyson's career record?
What is Tyson's career record?
And that's why we have Jamie. While he's looking that up, I'll go into a small little segment on the whole
Yes.
voiceover thing.
50 wins total, and 44 of them by knockout, 6 losses.
50
So Tyson's
wins,
a bad motherfucker.
50
Six
wins and
losses?
44 of them were by knockout.
That's six wins that he had without knocking him out. Total.
And what were those like
Probably
judges'
point, bu-
decisions?
Yeah, probably decision.
I know
yeah.
one of his what do you say, he has 6 L's to his career?
Yeah. Total.
One of them's a disqualification for biting off of Vander Holyfield's ear. So I don't even know if I would call that. Like I mean, he was
I would.
probably
He bit
losing
his
that
ear
fight.
off. Like, he definitely.
But did he lose the
He didn't
fight?
lose. No, he cheated. He bit a motherfucker's ear off. That's fair enough. Like,
Won, technically.
Technically,
actually, yeah. he did.
technically he won.
Yeah.
I'm gonna petition to have Tyson's record changed because I think he won that fight.
51-5.
Yeah,
But that's bonkers.
and I'm gonna
man.
call it a knockout. That's a TKO. He bit his ear off.
Yeah, he fucking won, dude. How you gonna let him? I don't know. As soon as like he comes up and like opens his mouth, like I'm gonna something.
So what do we call that? 51 wins, 45 of them by knockout, and 4 losses as a career.
Five losses.
Well, he took one away. Oh, 5. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. He had
yeah.
6 losses.
Yeah.
Okay.
58 total fights though, out of 50 and 6. So there's 2 in there, I guess, that are like draws or something.
Well, one of
Yeah.
them was the one that he just came back and did. Not just now. It was like I can't remember. I know I was still working at Fire Oak at the time, but he did an exhibition with Roy Jones Jr.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Mike Tyson fucked him up, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the fight, fucking Jones was leaning over, and Tyson was like, "Why is everybody worried about him? He ain't fucking." Or no, yeah, he was like, "Why is everybody worried about him? He ain't fought in 3 years. I ain't fought in 15 years. Why don't people?" And then the announcer was just like, "Cause you're fucking Mike Tyson." Like,
Do you know who you are?
yeah,
You see Tyson whip that dude's ass on an airplane a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
He just like wouldn't quit fucking with him. That was one of the rare cases where I'm just like, he deserved it.
fuck yeah, he deserved it. He kept poking at fucking Tyson, dude.
Dude, there was another instance where Tyson was at like a comedy show. Like he wasn't even related to the video, and for some reason this guy was like fucked up on something or drunk or something, but dude pulled a gun out in the middle of like the comedy show. and like everybody like fucking all at the same time, and like he's like talking shit and everything, and
People like that, man.
dude, Mike Tyson stood up out of nowhere like a guardian angel and was just like, brother, you don't want to do this. Like, you know what I mean? It was
I'm
just
not
like,
the one.
Yeah, he's just like, brother, somebody loves you. You better get out of here before they send
Well,
in the
I've
cops.
been watching a lot of shit with Mike Tyson recently where he's been taking psychedelics, and he's been pretty much saying the dude has chilled me out a lot, and you could see it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching interviews. Of course, I went live back then.
You mean to tell me it worked to rewire Mike Tyson's brain?
He did. I went alive
Who
back
would've
then,
thought
but
that?
I watched a lot of interviews like back then when he was just savage. Like, he'd hit motherfuckers for like wearing the wrong shirt.
Yeah.
And now he's
Asking
just
the wrong
like,
question.
yeah, he's just like, I love you, brother. You're okay. Have you seen the I showed it to Isaac the other day, or we watched part of it or listened to part of it, where it's Mike Tyson and Eminem.
I didn't see that.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Mike Tyson rapping or something?
No, it's like a podcast between Mike Tyson
okay.
and Eminem.
I was about to say, I don't know if I'd like
There's
that.
a song
I'll
that's
give it a
I'm
shot.
Mike Tyson, and it fucking drops a beat for a little bit. But no, dude, he was like, "You're one of the only white boys that knows what it's like to be a." Yeah, and Eminem's like, "I don't know how to respond to that."
He's like, thank you, I guess.
Yeah, what's Mike Tyson telling you that? So now you got validation.
Yeah.
because Mike Tyson fucking hated white people.
Mike Tyson just gave you a hood pass.
Yeah.
That's the most valid hood pass.
The most valid one. Fuck Dr. Dre.
Yeah. Eminem just got his hood passes up on his wall with his platinum records.
It's got Mike Tyson's
Yeah.
picture on it with him with a thumbs up.
Yeah, just sign Mike Tyson.
Yeah. With the TH.
Yeah. Let's be real. Eminem's probably got a collection of hood passes.
He's probably has to, man. It's Eminem.
Oh, good shit. No, fucking back to the voiceover thing. We were talking about that a minute ago.
Coop would be a good voiceover. Oh yeah, I never finished it. Anyway, this dude said I look like a gorilla, and I was like, damn, kind of look like a. And then fucking two more people that same week were like, you're kind of built like a gorilla, and I'm like, what the fuck? So like, I came up to this dude. I'm like, dude, we got to make a cartoon. He's like, what's it gonna be called? I'm like, Monkey Dude. It's like, Monkey Dude. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be called Monkey Dude. He's like, well, what is it going to be about? Okay, so it's a gorilla in an enclosure, like in a zoo. And this fucking trippy dude walks by and like accidentally drops his DMT into the fucking the gorilla enclosure, and the gorilla smokes it. So he goes from gorilla to monkey dude.
You're not really going for realism in this cartoon,
No,
are you?
not at all. Not even close.
Gorilla just pulls a Bic lighter out of his pocket. and
Just
he's like,
fucking starts smoking DMT.
it's Morbin time.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. You'd be a really good fucking voice actor, man.
So you won't believe how I exploited and figured out this talent. So my second longest tenured job of all time, I worked at Brookshire's for a couple years when I was a teenager. Like started off as like a bag boy and ended up like
I think I remember you telling me about that like the first time I came over and we met, yeah.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
one day like our manager, she was like kind of like timid and shy, and she always had to do the announcements, and you could tell she just like fucking hated doing it. Like she'd go on there and
Like most of
hey,
them.
today's specials, and I was just like one day I was just like
Today, Junior.
I was just like, hey, do you want me to do that? And she's just like, what do you mean? I was just like, I don't mind public speaking. Like I could probably knock out an announcement. And she was just like, you know what? Okay, we'll let you try. And like I closed that night, and towards the end of the night, she like brought me an announcement where there was only like a couple people in the store, and she's like, all right, trial run. And I was just like, all right, let's do it. And yeah, fucking attention Brookshire shoppers located on the end of aisle 7 today. And like, bro, her mouth just went fucking agape. She was just like, you were born for this.
This is what you were made to do.
And bro, like I swear to God, for the rest of the time I worked there, like they would bring me announcements during the day, and like I'd have to stop like once an hour and just fucking grab that fucking mic and psh, attention Brookshire shoppers, today we have the real big deal located at the end of aisle 7. If you buy the 15-pack of Ballpark Frank hot dogs, you get the buns, the relish, the ketchup, and the mustard for free. This is just our way of saying thank you for shopping at Brookshire's. Like,
It's so good. Let's do some improv, man. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple ideas.
okay.
It's a beer commercial about a beer that's made from fucking Louisiana swamp water. Try to sell it.
See, this like goes back to my one trick pony thing, because I feel like now that I have like the fucking like the Bud Light Real Men of Genius guy's voice in my head. Like I feel like everything I do is
it.
going to be that guy. Like should I try like a Louisiana Bayou like accent? Or
Try it out, man. It's improv.
I've never been good at improv. I'm not a theater guy. We'll try it. You know what? We're here. We're fucking mic'd up. We're gonna try this shit.
This is Coop in a commercial.
Come on down, Louisiana.
That's so good, though. You know how many people from Louisiana I know that sound like that, exactly like that?
I feel like I need like a banjo going in the background. Like I don't know if I've ever been to Louisiana.
I'll edit it in later. I'll edit it in later. Ding, 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 ding.
Come on down to Swampwater Brewery down here in Louisiana. New Orleans' best Swampwater beer. We got Swampwater Lager and Swampwater Light. Fuck, I don't
So
know.
good. If you could hear it in the headphones, Isaac, it sounds so good.
Does it sound as good out of the headphones as it does in the
Yeah,
headphones?
that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
It probably is a little more like
We're-
polished.
We're selling Swampwater beer now.
I better probably fucking kill you, but
Speaking of Bud Light.
okay. So this is a topic I bring up in every one of my topic that I bring up in every one of my podcasts. So you're a fan of rap.
Yeah.
You know what question's coming. Who's your top 5?
See, this is hard for me because not only am I a fan of rap, but I'm like such an expansive fan of music.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I really, really love all music. Like if there's a genre, I can find a vibe in it somewhere. I really can.
I'm the
And,
same way.
Like as of right now, who I've been listening to, because I won't lie to you, I haven't been listening to
In
a
no
whole
particular
lot of-
order, not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just top 5, plain dry, dead or alive.
I haven't been listening to a whole lot of rap lately, and I'm going to break a very sacred rule when giving you this top 5 list because it's pretty important that I don't break this rule, but I think for the sake of respect for the game, I have to break the rule. But so my favorite all time is like an underground MC, and he kind of says explicitly in his music, like if you know about him, you're not supposed to talk about him. Like he kind of wants to remain anonymous. So I shouldn't drop his name, but if you've ever heard of or listened to Spark Master Tape, I think I might have put some of him on before for you before.
He's dope.
That dude,
Yeah.
everything he's ever
I know
done
exactly who you were
is-
talking about.
It's next level. It's absolutely insane. I'm a huge fucking Spark fan, and he goes on like long hiatuses. I'm not releasing anything, and then just like drops rapid fire shit. So
And it's always fucking hard as fuck every
yeah.
fucking time.
And
Yeah.
he even did like a project called Verse a Day for a while where he had like a different beat and he would drop just like, 4 to 8 bars on this beat. And like they made like compilation videos. There was like hour-long compilations of his like Verse a Days that he dropped.
Yeah.
And then he's gone back and like taken fan favorites from those Verse a Days and made whole fucking songs out of them.
So
and like
dope. So dope.
I feel like as fucking weird as this sounds, it's like almost like a fucking there's like a deeper connection that I have to this artist. Like it's hard to explain, but like several samples that he's used are like songs that have spoken to me in the past that like nobody has specifically like showed me, but it's just like songs that like, I've put on repeat to like get
Yeah.
me through like, hard moments in my life or like, different things. And it's strange because it's a lot of it isn't like mainstream music or it's like
Not even
kinda
close.
underground old school music. And
Yeah.
he's like sampling shit that like I thought only I knew type
Yeah,
shit. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like he's done it a couple times and like blown my mind. And I'll give you like a solid example. This is like probably even going to blow your mind a little bit because I bet you didn't know this. Robert Downey Jr. He can sing.
Oh yeah.
So he was on the show Ally McBeal.
He
like
can't
early-
only. He's not
ear-
just Iron Man.
No. And this was like
he's a
one-
very talented guy.
Yeah, one of his
Yeah.
earlier ventures was the show Ally McBeal.
Yep.
And like for some reason my mom loved the show. She named my little sister Ally, and for every year since I was a kid, we listened to this Ally McBeal Christmas album.
Yep.
And one of the songs on there is Robert Downey Jr. doing an old Joni Weaver song called River. I don't know if you've ever heard.
Uh-huh.
I'd hate to butcher the song, but wish I had a river I could skate away on. I've always fucking loved that song. Like even like out of Christmas time, I've put that shit on, and I specifically love his cover. He just
It's
fucking
way better than Mariah Carey.
he nails that shit, bro. He absolutely fucking nails it. And like I've never heard another person bring it up to me, and like typically the only time I would ever hear it as a kid is around Christmas time, and it just like it's one of those like songs like even though it's kind of a sad song, it's still like kind of brings me
Christmassy.
joy
It's
and
got,
happiness.
yeah, that's the whole
And,
point of Christmas.
Fucking Spark dropped a song not too long ago called "Make a Lot of Money," and
And he had
it
that sample in it?
It was that sample that "Make a lot of money, then I'm gonna
It's
look
bonkers.
this crazy."
No, I didn't hear
scene."
that song. I didn't hear the
And,
one he sampled. No,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard it, it gave me fucking chills. I was just like, he knows me personally. Like he's
Yeah.
fucking with me.
Yeah.
So that's like I'm super in tune to Spark. I love everything he's ever done. I don't think he's ever missed.
so you got Spark,
I
which I like the diving into why.
yeah
They're-
yeah that's
they're- yeah,
and
that's
I don't
awesome.
think I will give as big of insight into my other.
Well, it's your,
top
that's your
ones,
number one
but that's-
technically.
there's a reason he's number one on my list, and it's just like even a lot of the shit he talks about, it's just it's not cookie cutter rap. It's
Right.
like, and he uses a lot
Generic.
of different flows, and he raps in Arabic sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's just, he's on some other shit, and I know it's not a lot of people's shit, but you know if you want like some real fucking like some bangers, like check out Sparkmaster Tape and Paper Platoon, bro. It's fucking it's soup, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You'll get what that means after a
Yeah.
little bit of listening,
Yeah.
but it's fucking soup for sure. And I mean, I like me some J. Cole. I like Jid.
Jid's cool.
Jid's fucking good, bro. Jid has the
Jid
absolute.
and Earth Gang and all them guys.
He dropped the funniest bar I've ever heard in a rap song, and it caught me so off guard. I had to like run it back several times with the first time I heard it. But that fucking real popular song he has, that Never. I know you've
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah.
So in the middle of that song, he cuts
For a
the-
second, I thought you were about to say Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
No, he cuts that song in the middle to like a different beat and like kind of speeds it up a little bit. And what
Beat
he's
beat switches are hard. I
Yeah.
want to do a song with a beat switch so
Yeah.
bad. I just got to find the right instrumental though. But
I do too. I really do. He switches up the beat, and what he says at the beginning of that is the funniest fucking shit I've heard in a rap song. He starts off his verse going, "What you call a chick that don't suck dick? You don't."
yeah, so good, so good. You don't call her.
You don't.
In case y'all didn't fucking catch it. So fucking good.
Like, bro,
dude.
I had to like pause it and run that back. I was like, did he just say what I think he just
Yeah.
said? I was like, that's the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard in a
That's
rap
so
song.
good. You got Spark, you got J. Cole, you got Jid.
I love me some Jid.
Two more.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, as far as that's why this is like a hard list for me, because this is like who I personally enjoy listening to. And
Well, that's always the question that I have is not who's the best, because that's a definitive top five. But I want to know your personals. That's why whenever I was labeling my top five, I said T.I.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker and Aaron were like T.I. I like T.I. man.
T.I.'s good, bro. T.I.P., bro.
Yeah.
He's always had some good shit. He's OG gangster.
He
he's
fucking
he's done
invented
time, bro.
trap music.
Yeah,
I
he's,
would argue he's at top of all time.
yeah, you gotta
That's
give
fair,
T.I.
man.
some
That's
respect.
fair.
But,
That's fair. That's your decision, man.
So I don't know if I'd put Jid in like my top 5 favorite rappers, but like he's definitely somebody I've been listening to a lot more lately.
Yeah.
I like his energy. I fucks with Suicide Boys a lot, dude. I really like Suicide Boys.
I'm just not a fan, man.
I feel like that's a front. That's 100%
It's definitely not a front, dude. A lot of people that I know love
Isaac,
Suicide.
fact check that. Is Kobe fronting? Does he like Suicide Boys?
24/7 front.
24/7 fronting.
Definitely don't, man.
Thank you, Jamie.
He doesn't like it for image reasons.
No, not for imageries. I don't know, man.
Bro,
I respect the guys. Look, they're doing the thing. I'll give them love. I just don't fucking listen to them, man. I just don't like them.
I'm
Do I
glad
hate
you
'em?
said that.
No,
I'm-
hate's a strong word. I hate Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I'm very glad that Isaac said that, because that is something I've always maintained as far as how I enjoy music. I'm never gonna let anybody else
Yeah,
tell me
Correct.
anything about the music that I listen to and try to like characterize my personality or my character based on the music that I listen to, because I listen to some fucking goofy shit, bro. Like, I listen to some
Have you ever heard of Brushy One String?
bro. Yes, chicken in the corn,
Hey!
grow, hey, mama. I fucking bro. We've got down to some
Yeah.
brushy, bro. Fucking.
I wish we had video podcasting right now,
You,
dude.
you ain't gonna get me with one of those.
Yeah.
Man, I know me some brushy one
A
string.
lot of people don't, man. I'll put that shit on. They're like, who the fuck is this? Have you heard Ass to Mouth?
I have
A2
not
Man?
heard Ass to Mouth.
I'll show you later. But okay, so right that sounded wrong.
I'm very intrigued.
I think you got 3 right now.
I got 3.
You've got Sparks, you got J. Cole, you got Jid. I don't know
No,
if you said.
we took Jid out just for like as far as ranking purposes
Okay, so
go.
right now you got 2.
But-
So you got 3 more.
But I like me some fucking Suicide Boys. I like
Oh, that's
me
right.
some,
You said that's your top. One of your top 5.
Yeah, I'd say they're in.
So now you got 3.
My top. I fuck with Joyner Lucas pretty hard too. I like me some Joyner Lucas.
I love Joyner for the fact that he could rap fast, but I'll take that back. He is saying shit. The only problem that I have with like fast rappers is they're not saying shit. They're just rapping fast.
All right, so I have a project for you. Go back and listen to his album. That's a phone number. I'm not gonna be able to tell you what the name of it is, but that
Actually, Logic ripped that idea off of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
whenever Logic made that Suicide song, he ripped that off of Joyner.
Let's be real. Fucking, they both ripped off all fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's the first 3 digits of Mike Jones' phone number? I can't fucking think of it right now.
281-330-8004. Yeah.
You would catch me on a fucking podcast and I couldn't give you Mike Jones' phone number. Oh shit! But yeah, let's
Jones.
Let's be real. Who?
Mike Jones.
That's who started the phone number shit. But bro, fucking that phone number album by Joyner Lucas is some of the most like deep and heartfelt.
Do you like his
rap
ADHD
music.
one?
Not as much as that earlier shit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean,
his earlier shit was way better.
He dived into so many topics on that.
Yeah.
Like
he's a good storyteller.
Like
man.
raising a kid that isn't yours.
Yeah.
And he did the Ross Cappuccioni story, that kid that got befriended by a gangster and got shot for his car. Like he did, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to his Ross Cappuccioni. That's the name of the song.
I haven't. I think Dalton brought it up in a previous podcast.
Bro.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Artistically, one of the like coolest, how do you say it? Like the coolest structures I've seen and like ideas for a song.
Yeah.
So what he does in that song is he raps from Ross's perspective from the first half of the song.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like talking to his family and shit like that. And like, you know, yada, yada, yada. Like, you know, how this dude
As
like,
Ross.
Yeah, as Ross.
Okay.
Like how this guy befriended him in a new town, yada, yada, yada. And like, you know, how it's cool to have homies
Which
and
is
shit like that.
insane to do. Like
then-
it's so hard to rap from somebody else's perspective,
Yeah,
make it rhyme,
and-
make it sound good, and make it make sense.
And he gets all the way to the point where homie shoots him in the song, and then they fucking like run it back, and they start the song over. But he's the gangster, like he's like the dude that
That's
befriended
dope.
Ross, and he does like, bro, and it goes through all the same scenarios. But Joyner's talking about like what this dude is thinking while like all
Right.
this shit's happening,
Right.
and like, you know, how the whole time he's like, nah, I'm gonna bust a cap in this white boy's punk ass, like, you know what I mean? Thinking about like, oh, I can only thirst for blood, like, you know what I mean? He's like, he's thinking about
I've
some,
got to listen to it,
bro.
dude.
It's on some other shit, and I don't think that was a single. I think that Ross Cappuccioni song was on the Numbers album, and
Yeah.
like, bro, he talks about
Fact
that.
check.
He
Look up what's the album called?
I already have it pulled up.
that's what I'm saying. It's his phone number. It's
508-507-2209.
yeah 508-527-220. That's
That
what
ain't
I
Mike Jones.
said. That's not Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. You get me? I need to take a pee here in a little
Go
bit.
for
if
it,
you
man.
wanna,
I gotta take a pee too right now.
If you want to take an intermission with the recording, we can.
Well, I don't know what song it would be, but I have a list of it right here.
Is it Ross Cappuccino? Is that the name of the song?
It's like Cappuccioni. Let me see. Or I guess I have my phone too. I could always look it up.
Oh, man, that's what I'm already on it here. It's on Wikipedia.
Let's see.
Well, it is Wikipedia.
Oh, bro.
And above that's the singles on the very top.
Keep It 100 is another song on this fucking album that is insane. It's the story of $100 bill and all like the different hands that it exchanges
Yeah.
throughout the course of its
Yeah.
life. Like fucking
That actually sounds like it'd go pretty fucking
Winter
insane.
Blues, insane, just like you. That's like he's rapping from the perspective of a little kid, like talking about how he doesn't want to be, and then he does, and then he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be like his dad when he grows up. Just
Yeah.
like, you know, fucking.
That's kind of cool.
Ultrasound is actually not about pregnancy at all. It's talking about seeing through motherfuckers like an ultrasound. Like that's
Yeah.
actually not what you would think it is. It's just, I'm sorry that he talks about his buddy's suicide. His buddy hung himself, and it's like literally like his letter to his homie. Like, and he does the same kind of Ross
That's
Cappuccioni
insane,
thing where
dude.
he's rapping as his homie at first, like talking about all the shit that he's feeling, and then like, you know, he's like, I might as well fucking jump, and then like he fucking jumps in the video and breaks his fucking neck, like,
That's
you know, hanging
bonkers.
himself, and then like Joyner's sitting on the couch reading his suicide note, like with him hanging in the background in the video. It's like, bro, that
I mean,
that
I know
album
it's a
is-
song, but if you take it at like personal level, kind of hits hard, man.
Bro, that album is one of the deepest
Like
musical
I said,
exposés I've ever
I took it back
experienced.
because Joyner's not just another like chopper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
he's not
he's-
just another fast rapper. He's actually saying shit, which is dope. And that's the biggest misconception that people get with like fast rappers.
Yeah,
it's like
Joyner's made a bunch of like kind of, I'd almost call it goofy music over the past couple years, and I wish
Yeah.
he would kind of go back to this. And I mean, this is why it's hard for me to give like a top 5, because there were some dudes that I was like so hype about at one time
Yeah.
that just like, it's not even that they fell off artistically, it's just
Yeah.
the fact that like I'm not really vibing with like a lot of the
Right.
shit they're talking about now. And it's
Right.
not that I disagree with it or anything, it's just like that's not the kind
It's
of
not
vibe
your
I
shit
want
for
on
you
a
right
daily
now.
basis.
Yeah.
Like Childish Gambino, loved all of his early shit, loved Fuck the Camp album, loved that, loved Because of the Internet. Even his fucking R&B album, that fucking
Yeah.
shit hit,
Yeah,
bro.
that was
like,
pretty cool.
Super talented dude. He can do stand up and shit, but he's been like, he's been so overly political and all
Yeah.
of his shit. Not that I don't
same
agree
with
with
like
a lot of his
as
shit, but
mainstream as it is. Same with Kanye.
it's like, yeah, I try to get away from politics in music, and like
Yeah.
a lot of the shit that like, you know,
Make music about music.
I'd
Make it an art. Stop talking about trendy shit. Stop talking about everything that's going on. What's going on with you, dude? Like, be an artist. God damn.
I think that like obviously a lot of that's like pandering to an audience and shit.
Yeah, but still, man. I mean,
I just meant like as far as like, you know, like talking about politics and your music and shit, like, you know, that like that's a hot topic, so people are going to talk about it, people are going to listen, people are going to want to
Right.
hear it and shit, but like at the same time sometimes
like Tom
that shit
McDonald.
just- yeah, dude, perfect example. Tom McDonald's talented, but his music gives me fucking heartburn, bro.
All he does, I mean, I like Tom McDonald, don't get me wrong, just like you said.
All that boy
But
does is bitch.
That and all he does is rap about trendy shit, what's going on right now. Like,
yeah.
that's all he does, man. Like, can you make a song about, like, you? Where'd you come from? Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tom McDonald's hard to take seriously, man, and he's
I
he's
agree.
a talented dude. And you know another dude who I used to have like a lot of respect for, and I used to really think that he was like going to be one of the greats that just like kind of fell off? Kevin Gates, bro. Kevin Gates
I
has
never
just
really liked Kevin Gates like that. I got like 3 songs that I love by Kevin Gates. The rest of them are just like,
bro,
like-
he had like a really good strong catalog going, and I felt
And then
like
he shit
was-
himself.
Yeah, he like went to prison and shit.
That's
came
what
back,
fucked
and
him.
He just hasn't been making music, and now
Probably
he just
got fucked in the butt and he was like, maybe I'm gay. Instead of, not fucking because everybody's sensitive. I'm not talking shit about gay people. I'm making fun of Kevin Gates.
That fool just like says ignorant shit now. Like did you see that thing where he was talking about starting a woman's car with his bare hands? Like he was like,
idiot,
yeah,
man.
I seen her pulled over and I went up there and I was like, hey, you don't speak a word of this to anybody. He's like, I touched her car and I swear it
Jesus
started. And I'm like,
fucking
bro, how are you gonna
Christ,
tell
man.
her not to say a word of this to anybody?
When
and
you
then
just literally
talk
performed a
about it on a fucking
A
podcast?
superpower. Yeah. You fucking dumbass. I just don't know, man. I hate how
Lying
like
out his ass.
I hate like how he does those videos where he's like fucking no, and he's like being motivational, and he just I don't know, man. I just think he's
I don't know.
also he's from Baton Rouge. I don't know too many good people from Baton Rouge.
I know a
to
couple.
be
I know a
honest.
couple good people from Louisiana. The Cajuns
From
are good
Louisiana, but
people.
not Baton Rouge. Everybody from Baton Rouge is a piece of shit. God
He said,
damn.
and I stand by that.
And I stand by that. Go ahead, Coop. Take us out on the goddamn voice out. We're going to take a break for a minute. We'll come right back. For y'all, it's going to be a second. For us, it's going to be a little bit,
I'm not even gonna lie. I just really have to pee.
me fucking too, dude. We drank a lot of water.
This potty break has been brought to you by Modelo Chilada Limon y Sol. Next time at your favorite convenience store, check out Modelo and all your favorite tall boy varieties.
That was fire.
If you don't, you're a bitch. We'll be right back.
Later, y'all.
Okay, so we're back. Me and Coop. Isaac, the fact checker. Okay, so here was what I was going to tell you on the improv. It's not improv for you. You don't have to do nothing but answer the question.
All right.
Star Wars. Jedi or Sith?
You're about to hate me.
Am I? What's your answer?
So like,
That's
Star Wars has always kind of like put me to sleep.
my fucking god, dude. Here I was with this.
Way that part now. You just restart the
I just like I respect the fandom, but it's just like I can't do it, man. I've
Why don't you
tried.
like Star Wars, man?
It's
Do you like
just-
Marvel?
Not really.
God damn it, Coop.
I like
You're like the
Spider-Man.
most nerdier non-nerd I know, dude.
I just, like I don't know. I'm into like real nerdy shit instead of just like
What?
I mean, I don't think that like mainstream comic books are necessarily like something that makes you nerdy. I feel like being
That's
into
fair,
like
but like
being
you
into
don't
like
like
kind of
shit
unique
like
off kilter shit is like kind of what makes you nerdy.
that's cool. No, I like yeah. Fucking god damn it, Coop.
Yeah, I'm not super into like the comic book superheroes and shit. Like I got way more excited about this last season of The Boys than I have about any Marvel superhero movie.
Fucking
Dalton.
everybody's been telling me because they know how big of like a superhero fan I am. Everybody's been telling me about The
Yeah,
Boys.
dude,
Is it really that good? Do I need to check it out?
Bro, it's dope. it's
pretty
really
good?
I'm not a big superhero fan, but I like how they make the superheroes out to be like how they would realistically be in like a real society. Like they'd be narcissistic assholes. You know what I mean?
Which is fair.
They'd use their powers to their advantage, and they'd be able to get away with all kind of shit. And they'd kind of be like, politicians are now with money, but like because they have the superpowers to, literally fucking kill you if you cross them, then people kind of, they use their powers to their advantage to like manipulate people and shit.
But
and
you don't like Avengers or X-Men or nothing?
so
Like Spider-Man or anything?
If you gave me like a list of like all the movies that are in like the
I'm not
the
talking
Marvel
about the movies. I'm
Cinematic
just talking
Universe.
about the heroes in general.
I like Spider-Man. That was so like my dad was super into Spider-Man, and like I think that's kind of what I got. Like one of the things that
Spider-Man
one of
goes
the
hard.
reasons why Spider-Man kind of stuck with me as a kid because like it was always like around. He had like Spider-Man.
You don't like
toys
the
and
X-Men?
memorabilia. It's just it's okay. I just honestly I feel like it's just been so overdone here lately that it's just like it's an oversaturated market.
Not
And
X-Men,
they just
though.
keep saturating it, and they keep just like, all right, we just need to add more to the story and more universes and more this and that, and
It gives fans like me like a reason to be like, fuck.
and that's
like,
good. And you know what's cool is like you as a fan have like a long, expansive,
Dude, I've
like
got
gorgeous
boxes and
cinematic
boxes
universe
and boxes
to-
of comic books, man.
And you can go back and like watch and look at all that, and it's like it's cool, and like I respect the story and I respect like what they've done, but it's just. I think I got like too far behind on it too early, and I just like don't have the patience to sit down and catch up
That's
on it.
fair, man. That's
And
fair
so,
because
like,
there is a lot to it, dude.
I think I've
There's
seen all
so
the
many
Iron
like
Mans.
levels and universes and fucking alternate versions of characters and
And I get a lot of it, and I understand a lot of the shit, like the base storyline from Star Wars and shit too. But like the MCU,
I can't. Okay, Marvel's okay. Like I can get that. If you don't like Marvel, that's fair. But you don't like Star Wars?
It's just like it's never super piqued my interest, and anytime I've tried to sit down
Well,
and watch
what do you
one,
like?
I don't know. I think my interest
The
kinda
Boys?
changed. I like The Boys. I do like Spider-Man. Like I will say that the End of the Spider-Verse is probably my favorite animated
That one
movie
is a
I've
good
ever
one.
seen.
That one is a really good one.
Artistically,
The second one looks badass.
Yeah, I
where
want to see it
fucking
super
where
bad.
fucking Spider-Man 299 comes out and he just like swipes up Miles Morales.
Yeah.
That looks like it's gonna be pretty fucking fire. I hope to God Venom shows up, dude.
Yeah,
But he probably won't.
I'm excited for the second one. Like I said, it's just not something that gets me super excited. Like I understand a lot of it, and I've been kind of surrounded by comic book culture, just like having like nerdy friends, and having seen some of the movies. Like I was gonna say earlier, I've seen like the Iron Mans. I watched like one of the Guardians of the Galaxies. I've seen like some of the Spider-Mans. I saw like the earlier ones with like the what's his
Tobey
name?
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I saw one of like the
Andrew Garfield,
ones,
yeah.
and I haven't seen any of the Tom Holland Spider-Mans. It's just honestly, bro, when you have kids, you ain't got a lot of time to sit down and watch 2-3 hour
That's
movies.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. But
you can catch a TV
when
show
you were a kid, you had a
occasionally,
lot of time. Well, what do you like, man? Do you
I
like
don't know.
wrestling?
I mean, wrestling's pretty cool. I've played video games for a lot of my life.
Have
I
you
think-
watched wrestling? This motherfucker don't like wrestling.
I don't
It's-
like watching it. I like playing it.
That's fair.
I respect the show they put on. It's just never been.
But
like,
did you ever watch it like as a kid?
Not a lot. It was more one of those things like if I went to a friend's house and they were into wrestling,
Yeah.
I'd watch it. And like it's just like another one of those things. It's weird how many things like I understand like the ground root fandoms,
But
of,
you're not into
but
it?
I'm just not into
God
at all.
damn. Well, what the fuck are you into? Coop?
Music.
God damn. Do you like country?
Some. I like real country though. I don't like Nashville
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
Nashville country gives me heartburn.
Now, this is what is gonna piss my podcast off because I'm more like a rap guy, or they know me as a rap guy, dude. I'm.
Everyone
Look
knows.
where we're at, dude. I'm a. Shut the fuck
Everyone
up,
knows. Everyone on there already
I'm a country dude, man. I
Yeah.
like country.
Country's good. I prefer like I guess what more people would call like folk or Americana. Just like Tyler Childers or fucking
Yeah.
Sturgill Simpson. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of other dudes.
I like Sturgill Simpson, dude.
I'm real into a dude named Benjamin Todd. I don't know if you ever heard of Lost Dog Street Band, but it's just like kind of folky bluegrass shit. But he just talks about real deep shit, like being addicted to drugs and being an alcoholic and shit, and just like
Which is real life shit.
fucking real relatable. That's
Right.
That's one thing I wanted to say earlier when we were talking about rap. I like music that makes you feel something, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
most every
Right.
song I listen to, like don't get me wrong, I like mindless bangers that you can fucking bang your head to.
And that's
shit,
cool
but
every once in a while, but like for the
that's-
majority of it though, you want something that is like talking to you.
Yeah,
Like makes your fucking hair stand up sometimes.
I want something that kind of fucking speaks to me. You know what I mean? And
Right. Which you don't like Star Wars and Marvel, so what the fuck speaks to you?
I don't know. I just like other people's struggles, I guess.
You like metal?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm a huge metalhead or anything, but like I like metal. Okay.
What kind of metal bands do you like then?
I mean, I don't know how hard of metal are we talking?
Just whatever you're into, man. It could be just like hard
I mean, shit,
rock or
dude,
like
I
deathcore.
fucking- I think Metallica's overrated. I like fucking Pantera. Okay.
I love Pan. That's why I had my beard red for a long time. Everybody for the longest time were like, "Why you got a red beard?"
I've been
Bitch, you
on a-
never heard of Dimebag? Like,
I've been on a
fucking-
Pantera kick lately. I'm not gonna pretend like I've just been like a huge Pantera fan.
I've
my whole
always
life,
been a
but-
big. You like Slipknot?
Yeah, Slipknot's okay. I saw him live once and wasn't impressed.
What?
Yeah, dude. I think it was.
Would Joey Jordison do the whole? Did he do the fucking drum thing where it's like whole drum? Yeah, and it was like, okay. So whenever I saw Slipknot, it was Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, Anthrax, Devil Wears Prada, Ask Alexandria, As I Lay Dying. It was a bunch of badass.
That's a good
bands.
show.
It was a really fucking good show, dude. By the time I got home, I was just like, but it didn't have shit on the one we went to. Those 2 days, it was South by So What? Yeah.
I've been to a lot of good shows, but I've been to a lot of bad shows
Yeah.
too. Like I went to Warped every year for 7 years. And
I've
like,
never been to Warp,
bro,
but
you see
but-
some good bands and you see some terrible bands.
But dude, you didn't see like the drummer of Slipknot do the thing where like his fucking drum kit lifts up and then it rotates and then it has a big ass pentagram on it and then he rotates back and then he comes back down.
So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just gonna lay out how this concert went. Me and Johnny Mac went. He wants to come out for the podcast, by the way. He was.
I
gonna,
want him to, man. He's a cool guy.
He was gonna just like.
He
surprise-
seems. I've never met the guy, but he seems like a cool
Oh,
guy.
he's solid, dude. He's been my best friend since we were in the 5th grade.
You both of them together.
Both of it. Yeah, that's what.
Oh, yeah.
So I called him today. It was late notice, but I was like, "Hey, you busy?" He's like, "No, I'm playing video games." It's like, "All right, dude, come out to Kobe's with me and do this fucking podcast." And he was down, and he ended up going to the gym and then having to come back and shower and
Proud
not
of him
taking
for
too
that,
much
man.
long and shit. And yeah, he's
Shout
getting
out
fucking-
Johnny Mac,
he's
man.
getting
Keep
healthy
doing
and
your thing,
shit.
boy.
Fucking-
Work out. Fucking do what makes you feel good, man.
Fucking Johnny's killing it right now, and yeah, he ended up just not having enough time to make it out. And but he said to tell you specifically, like he said these words, like, "Tell Kobe I want to come out for a podcast." So probably next time you have me out, we'll both come out and have a little fucking jamboree out here. And
Let's do it, man.
do
I
our
don't
fucking
know why
podcast.
you didn't just talk to me, but hey, man, at least you got the word out there. You know
What do you
Coop?
mean?
why he hit you up instead of me?
He didn't know about it until today.
Yeah,
Like, he
well,
didn't know I
that's
was-
what I'm saying. That's fair, man. I'm not mad at the guy. You know.
Yeah, no, he wants to. He just said let you know. I'm sure he knows you're
Yeah,
busy. Fucking
absolutely,
doing
man.
this shit,
I'm cool with Johnny Mac. Johnny Mac's cool. He was a judge on a few of the tournaments, and he had very valid reasons for
Yeah.
the very valid choices like he chose.
he voted against me several times.
He voted against me a couple times, man. That's his decision, man. It's respectable.
I don't think anybody directly accused me of like home cooking or anything in any of the the
As
tournaments,
far
but it
as
was,
I know, no. A
it
lot
was-
of people
it was
accuse me
implied.
of it.
It was implied a couple times, and like that was always one of my biggest fallbacks. It's just
Mine
like, dude,
too, man.
This is my best friend. That's one of the judges right here,
Right.
and he's voted against me several times.
Yeah.
He voted against me to push me out in 2 different tournaments. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not like that.
No, not at all. It's okay. I'm entering a competition. My friend's
Yeah.
a judge. He's gonna judge accordingly.
Yeah,
that's
just
what's
respect for the
supposed to
game.
happen, right?
But
No, a lot of people accuse me of home cooking, and it's so fucking. I don't know.
I want to
man.
get the tournaments back going and shit, but I also want to kind of like
I
work on
think-
my own music too. You know what I mean?
think and that's where I'm at, man. I'm not gonna say that I don't give a fuck about the page, but I kind of don't give a fuck about the page no more, man. I've tried. Like, I just had a battle the other day, and not much came for it. We had like 5 votes, and that was it.
I think
But
that
172 views.
a lot of it has to do with like. I think that like the algorithm obviously doesn't push the page very hard because
Right.
it's not a super active page. So
Right.
only people who like have historically been super
Right.
active with
Right.
the page are going to get those notifications about the page. Which I mean, I got notifications that you posted shit about the page, but I'm
Yeah.
also an admin, so I'm probably
Yeah.
going to get those notifications.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just when the page is popping, it's really popping, and we're getting like thousands
Yeah.
of views on some of
Yeah.
these battles and stuff. And
Well, we got almost fucking like 2,500 followers, man.
yeah, it's taken off, and like I'm proud of what the page has done, and I want to keep like promoting the page and stuff. But I don't want to be the driving force that carries the page
Right.
anymore.
That's
And
why I gave up,
I don't
man.
think you want to be the driving
No,
force.
I don't.
And like,
Fucking, I've carried it on my back for a long time, and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, but people just, I don't know, man.
and
I think it's time to focus on me as an artist and do my own thing and fucking ultimately make myself money. You know what I mean? I love the page. It's done a lot of good things. I mean, that's why me and you were having this podcast right
Absolutely.
now, because we've got to meet each other from afar. That's why me and Jazz
that's
are
another
friends.
thing,
That's why me
fucking
and Mark are friends.
Corey invited me to that page, and I didn't even join it for a long time because I didn't know what the fuck it was, and I normally
Yeah.
don't just join Facebook groups. And it took him like messaging me like, "Hey, bro, join this group. We're having a fucking blast in here." And I hadn't rapped in like 10 years. I had no desire to post any
Yeah.
videos at all, and I commented on something one day, just kind of just like, just poking the bear a little bit, and just said something along the lines of like, I might dust off an old beat and, show you guys what's up.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
And somebody called me out. They were just like, do it. And I was just like,
Lane did.
well, no, that was after. So somebody
Lane?
said, yeah, that was, I'll get to that. So somebody said, it might have even been Corey, like, do it. Like, bitch if you don't type situation. I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll do it. And he's like, I'm going to hold you to it. And he tagged me a couple more times and shit whenever, like, shit was going on in there. And he's like, bro, you need to drop a verse. And I was like, fine, fuck it. And I sat down and wrote a couple lines to that Whip a Tesla, Young Gravy.
Yeah.
And I dropped that, and it was like decent for like my first fucking bars in like 10 years, and like people were just like, oh shit. But that's when that Lane dude called me out and was just like, I want to battle this guy, like he seems like a piece of cake. And I was just like, okay, I'll show you a piece of cake, motherfucker.
You fucked
And,
him
like,
up, dude. You fucked him up. You fucked him up so bad that he didn't respond and he left the page.
Yeah, I sat down and like I was like, all right,
That's a fact. Like,
it put a little
It
bit
is.
it put a little bit of fire up under my ass.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, if this motherfucker's
maybe
talking
I
shit,
am the
like,
fucking shit.
if he thinks I'm a fucking cupcake, I'll show you a cupcake, motherfucker.
with some spikes in it.
I sat down and fucking I wrote some pretty clever shit, and it was just, it's almost intoxicating, you know what I mean, whenever you get a positive response to the fucking shit you make, because
Definitely is.
even at like
It for sure is.
the silliest bare root, like what we're doing right there, you're still making art, dude. Like you're still
It's
taking
the whole
words
point
that
of it.
you thought
and
of,
it's not necessarily. I mean, a lot of people just think it's me versus you. Not
Yeah.
necessarily. It's more of a dojo. It's where you go to practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
you're
and that's what I
you're-
was getting into. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said practice, because that's exactly what this page has given me.
Right.
Is like it's given me a platform to like confidently put shit out that I know I'm going to get at least some response from, whether
Yeah.
it be good, whether it be bad, criticism, constructive criticism,
Correct.
praise.
Correct.
And like all these things matter. You know what I mean?
They
And-
definitely do, and especially building you as an artist.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
and that's taken like somebody who like I don't know how long's the page been up, like 2-3 years now, like
Something like that. Yeah.
somebody who like has always been
I think about 2 years.
somebody who's
Is
always
it
been
fair?
an insane fan of music and just like I have like an encyclopedic fucking knowledge of like, you know, even classic music, like going from the 50s all the way up to shit today. Like, you know, it's kind of insane. People can even give me like the wrong lyrics to a song and I normally know what song they're talking
Just
about.
recorrect them.
Yeah, it's happened before. Like
I've done it.
I surprise myself sometimes, and that's another reason I want to get into making beats. Is like I have like a pretty encyclopedic like idea of samples I want to use and like beats and stuff like that, and like, you know, things that haven't been sampled, and like, you know, I think that that's something that I could get into eventually. But fuck, I lost my train of thought. I'm really bad about venturing off onto like different paths.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. I'm fucking very happy you came over, Coop. This is fucking awesome, man.
Appreciate that, man. I'm having a blast.
And I do as well. I mean, I've been to your house twice to do the Cope and Kobe show. Or
Yeah.
Coop and Kobe. Kobe and Coop show, Coop or Kobe show, whatever the fuck it's called.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, man. I really liked how after the last barbecue, I left my fucking mask over there.
He
And
did.
and for the tournament, you fucking put everybody's name in it. I was supposed to show up, but I fucked up.
That was you. That was you in spirit. That's how I kind of.
Yeah, that's what you said. You was like, Kobe's not here, but he's here in spirit, and you shook the fucking thing.